I encourage you to join me and my family in remembering him in happier times, and that not as he is in this box. Who lays in it is no longer my dad, but a borrowed shell lent to him by God to house his jovial spirit, tenacious will, and golden heart. I was recently told that the skin is but a veil for the soul. For those who knew my dad well, you would agree. My dad was blessed with success in all aspects of his life. In business and as a leader, he was well respected for grooming his staff into leadership roles. He took pride in having a hand in improving people's lives. For some of us, his positive influence affected generations. As a friend, he had an open door policy for anyone who needed him in any way. As a family man, he ought to be the standard by which all fathers and husbands must abide. As a man of God, Dad never failed to call on him, in triumph or in trial. Dad had a charismatic way of drawing people to him. At any social gathering, find the crowd huddled together, or follow that unmistakable laugh, and you'll find my dad in the middle, entertaining with his many stories. These stories, funny ones and inspiring ones alike, give insight to why my dad is so loved. It's been said that a testament to the kind of life a man lived and the legacy he will leave behind is seeing how many people are in attendance when he is laid to rest. Look around and see for yourselves how much love there is for my dad. Each of us has our own stories to tell and fond memories to hold on to about my dad. My fondest memories of my dad are those that shaped the daughter, the wife, the mother, and the Christian that I am today. I speak for my siblings when I say that Dad has carried on in my brothers and sisters in many different ways. Dad, thank you sincerely for working hard to give us the childhood that we had, for allowing us to assert ourselves and use our voices, for never letting a day go by that we didn't sit down as a family and share a meal, for teaching us the importance of how we carry and present ourselves, for instilling in us generosity and a limitless capacity to help anyone in need, for loving us with no boundaries and no conditions. My brothers and sisters and I are in a good place in life, Dad. Continue on your journey home to heaven without worry that Mom will be well taken care of. Watch us from above and be happy with the legacy that you leave behind. From your nieces and nephews, your brothers and sisters, from Matthew, Jackie and Paolo, Anthony and Sheila, Jonathan, Andrew, Ryan, Sue, Wardy, Jen and Seth, Ed and Laura, me and Art, Judy and Renato, Tom and Josie, and your great love, Mom. We miss you deeply. After your orientation in heaven, I look forward to closing my eyes at night and waiting for you in my dreams, where we can sit and talk and embrace once more again. Dear lost Betty, friend, uncle, brother, Lolo, dad, husband, patriarch, rest well, be free again, and be happy with the Lord. We will always love you, Dad.
So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about 4 lessons that I learned from my dad. Lesson number 1 was always iron your shirt. This included undershirt, tank top, taekwondo, taekwondo. That lesson number 1 for me was this pride, discipline, and this work ethic that any military officer would be proud of. Some of the accomplishments he had was worked 27 years for Hitachi. He climbed the ranks there. He'd tell you he started at the very bottom, becoming an executive. And then after that, at 46, he moved to the U.S., hoping for a better life. Worked another 10 plus years at Airtel Plaza. And then he even had a little side business where he was doing some other things. He was always busy, always doing something enterprising. Meanwhile, he also had family, earned an MBA. So that's what it took to accomplish those things. That's lesson number 1, always iron your shirt. But that's not the reason why all of you are here. I think most of you are here because of lesson number 2. Despite all those successes and accomplishments, he had a way of balancing his life. So lesson number 2 is never balance your checkbook. And that's a lesson more about, 1, finding the right woman. My mom was a really good accountant. So you never had to worry about that. But second, it was a lesson on relationships. You shouldn't be counting how much you spent, how much you have left. I think I look around the room and I know many of you that broke bread with my dad at the fanciest restaurants or the best places to eat in Gardena, Carson. He knew them all. Before Yelp was open, before the internet, Dad knew every good place to eat, and he had diabetes. He wasn't supposed to eat that stuff. So really, my dad never let money get in the way of fun relationships and how much he wanted to show you he loved. Also, my dad had a knack for the finer things in life. He liked nice cars, nice shoes, nice watches. But really, it was the way he balanced lesson number 1, work, and the way he balanced lesson number 2, the relationships. Lesson number 3, go to Denny's often and get good at the clogging. That one's a lesson on love. You never know when you have to wow a little kid, a grandkid, a son, a daughter. He got really good at that game. He also took that same approach to playing mahjong and going to Vegas. Yeah. So that's lesson number 3. And the last lesson for me was lesson number 4, always carry a handkerchief. I think all my family members have one from his drawer today. That's a lesson on being a gentleman. My dad carried a handkerchief every day, pressed it, sprayed the scent of the season. He used this for several things. One, when he was ironing his shirt, he kept his hair in place by putting the handkerchief around his head. Second, my dad was a little bit of a germaphobe. He'd pull that out and use it to open doorknobs. But for me, it was a comfort lesson. Many of you might not know this, but see the handkerchiefs come in handy already. When I was a kid, I used to be scared to go to school. I kind of had some separation anxiety. So at night, I would go into his room and take that handkerchief from the day before, because it still smelled good. And I didn't know it at the time, but I went on to school later on and found out that's what's called a transitional object. You take something that's comfortable from one environment and bring it to an uncomfortable one. So without having to say anything, my dad was there for me. So those are the 4 life lessons. Always iron your shirt, never balance your checkbook, go to Denny's often and get good at the clogging, and always carry a handkerchief. I want to thank all of you for sharing this with my mom, my brothers and sisters, and our families. I want you to remember my dad through those lessons rather than the last several years when you know what suffered. I want your last memory to be of those 4 lessons. Thank you.
are difficult times for my family. We thank you for your sympathy and prayers, love and support. This journey has been made bearable with dear friends and family by our side. To Father Joseph